Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brent Knox, the podcast. I want to say hello. And the first thing I wanted to say, happy Thursday. It's Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. And of course, you know who I am. My name is Brent Knox. I want to let you know who I am. So I am 51 years old. So I still say I'm in my early 50s. I was born in Pomona, California, which is where I currently live. When I was 2 years old. I guess basically I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself, let you know who I am and a little bit more about myself in this episode today in this podcast. And then we'll just get going. So basically, I was born in Pomona. My family moved to Seattle when I was 2 years old. I was actually almost three. But my dad wanted more opportunities up in Seattle for work and employment, so my whole family moved up there. I lived in Seattle, the Seattle area. We lived in Redmond and Renton until I was about 11 years old. So from 3 to 11, I had a lot of adventures in Seattle itself. You got forests and you got trees everywhere. Me and my brothers. So I have two older brothers. I have one younger sister and one older sister. My brothers and I used to do a lot of adventures in the forest when we lived in Seattle. I kind of got addicted to doing things like catching frogs, and we do things like climb up in the tree and hold on really tight, wear a really thick jacket, and my brother would cut the tree down, which is quite a free fall experience, and then a puffy, soft landing. So I lived in Seattle when I was younger, and from 3 to 11, and that's where I started watching the Seattle Seahawks, and today I'm still a Seattle Seahawks fan. And of course, I watched the Supersonics, so the two professional teams they had there back then, of course, were the Mariners as well, but the two professional teams I watched were basketball and football. My neighbor, when I lived in Seattle, was Gus Williams. He was actually the NBA starting point guard, the NBA champion in 1979, and it was pretty exciting to have your neighbor be a starting point guard for a winning team. So I watched him very closely. I learned a lot about basketball and sports in general from watching him and from watching my Supersonics. So my family lived there until I was about 10 years old. My mom basically couldn't handle the rain anymore. She said, Jerry, I want out of here. We got to move back to California. So the whole family packed up and moved back down to a city called Walnut, which is in LA County. It's on the edge of LA County. Pretty nice little neighborhood. And went to some pretty nice schools there as well. And I went to elementary school. So I started third grade, fourth and fifth grade. And then my family just basically decided to move to Bloomington. Bloomington is it's an unincorporated area near Fontana. People know Fontana now because of the raceway and the speedway out there, but lived in Bloomington. I went to Bloomington Junior High, Bloomington High School. Wanted to give you a kind of a fun fact for those of you who have not heard about Bloomington High School. And I always like to say, you don't want to be proud of somebody else's accomplishments, which is great. I'll tell you a little bit about some of my accomplishments in high school, but the thing that makes Bloomington High School famous to this day, it actually still holds what's called the national scoring title for high school football, which means they scored more points in a single season in a football game than any high school team in the history of football. That happened in 1994, right after I left school. So all these little freshmen that we saw in school and everything was pretty interesting. But after the fact, they became these famous guys. But and how they did it? Sweeps. They only ran specific types of plays, sweeps. Only had one pass play per game, which kept it interesting. They never punt the ball. So the head coach of that team just recently passed away, but I thought that would be a pretty interesting story. In high school, I was super active. I actually got 6, you call it varsity letters. 4 of them are athletic letters. So I got a lettered in tennis, cross country, basketball. I got too big for wrestling, so I lettered in wrestling my freshman and sophomore year, but I just got too tall, and I made the varsity basketball team my junior year. So junior, senior year, I played varsity basketball, but I basically sat the bench. So the fact that I got a letter means I went through the whole season. I was probably one of the fastest guys on the team, but I wasn't the playmaker. So, but anyways, I love basketball. So the six letters I got: so tennis, cross country, basketball, wrestling, which I started wrestling. I love wrestling. Super grueling sport, and we got theater arts and chamber choir, which are two separate letters, which some people might know and some people might not. But anyway, I loved singing chamber choir because I was raised Mormon, and we did a lot of singing. We're congregational singers. So I love singing. So I got in the chamber choir. We did plays like Grease, of course, a lot of fun stuff in theater arts. So that was Bloomington High School. I love Bloomington High School. And I love telling people that I'm from Bloomington because most people don't know where that is unless they know sports, because high school sports wise, Bloomington High School football, basketball, well, it's mostly football, but most of their teams are usually pretty good. So especially the football team. Anyway, so again, I'm proud of something I didn't do, but it's okay. It's where I'm from. So the next thing is I currently live now in Pomona, which is the city that I was born. I live not far from the big peach-colored building that I was born in, Pomona. And I love living here with my wife, Gabriella. We've been together over 12 years now, and so we're super happy. And every year we try to do something, go somewhere fun, but we always keep it interesting. We're constantly at each other, but we're trying to make each other better and just trying to help each other, which is how a relationship with a guy like me and a guy like her, it's the only way that it works. It's just you're constantly, no. You got to keep score sometimes, like all the time with my relationship, which is a good thing for me. So it keeps me on my toes. What else do I want to tell you about? Oh, my animals. So I have 2 dogs, 4 cats, and 1 fish. And my dogs, I've had, they're Cocker Spaniels, they're full breed. I got Maxie, he's going to come and say hi right now. Maxie's always up in my business, so here's the dog. And then that's Max the dog, and then you got Brandy, who's a female dog, and they are pure breed Cocker Spaniels. Something people, hi Brandy, something people might not know about Cocker Spaniels is that it's the original AKC breed, American Kennel Corporation breed. Is the first actually certified American breed is the Cocker Spaniel because they use them for hunting for hundreds of years. So I want to say hi to my cats. There's Milo the cat. I got 4 cats. He's Milo. I don't know what you call this. I call it orange popsicle cat. So he's the redheaded stepchild of the family because he really doesn't have any direct relatives in the house. The other 2 cats I have are both brothers, and I don't know if you've ever had cats, but these guys just they're constantly looking at each other, giving each other funny looks. And this is Wilbur. So I call him Wilbur because he has the same name as the fat pig from Charlotte's Web because he likes to eat everything. So I call him my pig cat. So instead of having a cat, which was it called Mr. Plopper or whatever from The Simpsons. So I didn't want an animal that pooped everywhere. So here's the newest member of the pet family. This is my little girl. We call her little girl, call her Haley. And she found me a couple weeks ago on the roof. She was on my roof and she was crying. So I fed her, and she always likes to bite stuff. She likes to bite fingers and pencils and pens. So that's Haley. And that is my cat. She knew it from day one. So even the neighbor was like, wow, that cat goes right to you. So I call her Haley because she came from the sky. She likes to go up really high. She's a tree cat. So they say there's 2 different kind of cats. I don't know if you guys have seen like the cat show with the cat whisperer guy. They call it my devil cat. Anyway, he'll tell you there's 2 different kinds. She's a tree cat. So here's my cat, my other cat. This is little boy. He's white. You see his ears clipped. We have a funny story. We'll tell you someday about that. But he is fixed, of course. This is little boy. He's a super lovey cat. He likes to sit on me. And, with all the controversy and people are talking crap about guys that have cats, and I don't listen to none of that garbage. Guys can have a cat. Cats are good for you. They let you can pet them and love them. And I'm just glad I'm not what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? I just glad I'm not allergic. That's the word. So I'm glad I'm not allergic to cats, and I love my cats. So, I'm not going to show you my fish right now. It's just a basic little, so maybe my producer, Gabriella, that's her title. She is the show producer, or it's called the podcast producer. I'm not supposed to use show right now. It's a podcast. So, and I looked up podcast. Podcast just means it's a section of show. So, it's not like the old iPods back in the day. So here's my fishy. It's a Japanese fighting fish. And of course he is solitary. He will only live by himself for the rest of his life. But we are going to have some fun with him as well. Maybe we'll get some little Play-Doh fish and see if he fights with those. But I intend to have some fun with some the animals in the podcast, because I think that's a fun thing to do. But mostly we're going to talk. We're going to learn things. I just want to tell you a little bit about kind of where I started, what I did in my career. So I basically am coming off. I worked for one owner and one company for about over 25 years. And I worked for companies like Cisco Systems, and Cisco. I helped to build their test development labs. I was one of the biggest providers of everything from cable to switch boxes to anything they needed inside the lab. And it was a really fun job, because I sold so many different products, and I got to see it and touch it, understand how it worked. And I was the number one provider of products for new customers at the lab, for acquisitions, for building test labs. So, but the owner sold the company about 6 years ago. And the new company and I guess we didn't get along, because I wanted to work and they didn't want to pay me. So we'll see how that didn't really work out. So they basically didn't want to pay the same commissions they were paying before. But anyways, I don't do that anymore. So what happened now is I worked for a software company. I worked for 2 different software companies for a while, was doing sales. I liked it. I liked meeting new customers, bringing them in, believing in what I'm selling, and believing the people in the company. So I did okay with there for a while, but basically I got laid off. My last company, I was bringing in so many customers, but they just weren't closing. And they weren't closing because of the political landscape, a lot of things that were going on with companies. Basically, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in our laws. Things basically stop holding people liable, companies liable for things that people do. That's why another reason why I want to do a podcast like this is I want to help usher in what I'd like to call the era of personal responsibility, where everyone is responsible for their own actions. I mean, if you get drunk, you go to a bar, you drink too much, don't blame the bartender, don't blame the bar owner. I'm sure there's negligent acts that could be happening, but you got to be responsible for yourself. The last thing too, I wanted to let you know is why, and why am I doing it? I'm giving you a couple reasons, but the number one reason why I want to do this is I think I can help other people, and I believe I can help myself. So every time I talk about things, I want to kind of figure out which way to go, or how to process, something that's come across on the news, that kind of stuff. We can do a lot of different things. We can laugh at it. We can laugh with it. We can make fun. We could use logic. And what I like to do is I like to solve these problems that come up in the shortest amount of words possible. Like, you should be able to answer any of these problems that come up, like gender and all this other stuff that comes up, and with one simple sentence, 3 words, and walk away. And I hope that, in the future, when we have shows, things that comes up, I'm going to work on trying to solve those things in the least amount of words possible, in the simplest way possible. And I think that'll help people, because then, if you go to holiday, or you meet with people, you got family members and they're talking about this and that politically, just give them the 3 words, give the answer. And it doesn't deviate from that. It's pretty simple. So let's try to. My goal is to work with you and to be honest and to be brave. It does take quite a bit of courage. I don't mean to kind of puff myself up or bring myself up, but thanks to my wife, she gave me the courage to just stand in front of people. I was doing it with the Zumba space, And it looks kind of crooked, but it's not. I was doing it in the Zumba space. I was doing it in, once I started getting in front of people and dancing and in karaoke, doing it with singing. But now it's time, I think, for me to just stand up and give my own opinion and talk to people about what they think. And so that's why I started the show. And there could be some money in it for me in the end, but really, I'm just looking at this like, I'm going to put my effort in this because I know I can help me and I can help other people. And at the end of the day, let's work on those simple answers for the complex questions, that come up, and like, whether, this and that. So I'll give you some examples during the week, in every show when we're talking about something specific. So all I'm going to do is just tell you guys, thanks for watching so far. This is my second show. The first one was kind of a technical, to get through some of the technical aspects of the podcast. And Gabrielle is running around making sure everything is working right. We're going to be doing improvements every day, and to just come and interact. And today, your homework assignment, if you guys want something, is give me some good topics. So I need good things that you guys want to talk about, and I will add those to the agenda during the week. Talk about anything that you think would be interesting or funny. If you guys want to tell a story, feel free to message me that as well. You could do it in the comments here, and we'll address it during the show. Or if you want to send me a private message, that is acceptable. It's great as well. I'd like to hear from you, and I would love to give some feedback and hear what you say. So now she's putting something for me to read. She says, now I'm using my Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. So right now I'm using my Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I could use some help with my TikTok. I know a lot of those things are going to be organic once I post. Right now we're posting on TikTok, but I'm posting on Gabriella's TikTok, which has enough users to go live. So I need more users on TikTok. So if you guys use TikTok, look me up. My TikTok is Brent Knox. It's at Brent Knox Original. It's all one word on TikTok. And so if you could follow me there, eventually we'll be doing our live shows from TikTok as well. And that's pretty much it. I told you a little bit about myself. I didn't really cover religion, which, we can as we go, but I'm going to cover, my spirituality and what I believe and why I make the decisions I make, and, how I'm going places. And it's just because I was forced at a younger age to become extremely spiritual, just to kind of know where to go and who and what to do. I see a comment here. Someone put cryptocurrency. That would be an excellent topic. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. Thank you very much, James Lloyd. Also, any input for live stream right now? I'm trying to do 7 p.m. Every day Pacific time. But if you guys have any other ideas of time, I'm happy to look at that as well. But I think I'm going to stick with 7 p.m. I could use some input on topics, things you want to learn about. I need to learn about cryptocurrency as well. I mean, you hear a lot of scary things about, oh yeah, you made the money, but how are you going to get it out? That kind of stuff. How, can you make money? How does it work? That kind of stuff. So I also wanted to briefly tell you about some of the people that inspired me. I basically, politically, you're looking at what's going on right now. The legacy media, you're talking NBC, ABC, MSNBC, all these CNN, all these channels that we used to watch as kids growing up that have been around forever. Well, not MSNBC necessarily, but like ABC, CBS. We saw with the last election, they're just feeding us a bunch of crap. And, people are looking at other places to get their information. So another reason why I was inspired by people that do podcasts. I mean, of course, everyone knows Joe Rogan and all these other guys. I just want to do it my way, where I can just sum it up and make it simple for people. But all these podcasters are doing a great service. Even the ones that are you don't agree with. Because now you're understanding how other people think, and even if they're wrong, you understand the points they might be making, and maybe you can take that and kind of shape and come up with a different kind of hypothesis. Your understanding of how things work. So Of course, my wife is a big inspiration for me because she speaks, she dances, she's done so many things, and she was the first one to create all these followers, and it was pretty phenomenal to see how she dealt with it. She kept things very simple. She said, no, just this is what I'm going to do. I want to do it my way. And I'm learning from that as well. So that's it for now, I guess. Tomorrow I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to have an agenda of a few things that we could talk about that's going to be interesting and fun, and I'll give some good fun input. And I think we're gonna cover a few topics that maybe something that you didn't know. You didn't know, like, well, I wanted to get 3 different things that I could say to a friend that aren't necessarily a dig, but it's the truth, and we're just gonna stick to that. So I'm looking forward to having you guys tomorrow. I apologize, today was a little bit late. Had a few things to get done, and I was just writing out what I want to speak about. But I'm hoping this will get easier. This is only my second podcast like this, so I think once we start getting into these topics, it's going to be a lot more fun, and we're going to have fun doing this show. So thanks. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. You guys heard it a million times. But like and subscribe helps a lot, because then you can see when something comes up, a video comes up. You guys can join right away. You can see when one has been posted. Maybe you missed it. You can go back and see it. But I'm looking forward to like, subscribe, and also your input. So happy to hear from you guys. Any input you have on anything you want to hear about, any topics, we will cover them, unless it's so outrageous that there's no way or that I can answer in a very short, but I'm happy to bring those things up. So anything you guys want to talk about, just about anything, I'm happy to cover those topics. And we're going to get better at even like screens and putting visuals up and that kind of stuff. I just got a basic backdrop. I got some different signs and different posters and pictures I'm going to put. My cat is trying to mess with me right now. She always wants to sit on my desk with me. So thank you guys very much for subscribing. I'm going to close everything up now, but I will be back tomorrow. And we're going to have some topics, some subjects of the day, things that you guys we can cover and maybe get some fun, quick answers to. But, of course, if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to tell me what you know about it as well. And anything specific, I'm happy to go over that as well. So thank you guys for joining me. And tomorrow is going to be a new day. And we're going to have, today was just about me, so you guys understand a little bit about me, why I'm doing this podcast, what your role is. Your role is to give input, be a fan, come and hopefully you get enlightened or you learn something, and also hopefully you teach something. I'm happy to learn something from every one of you guys. So looking forward to the comments and for having a good time in our podcast. And we'll say the kitty's going to say goodbye too. So bye. Thank you very much. There wasn't much, but next will be more. So tomorrow we'll do better.